Tonight, defense officials are zeroing in on the cause of the most recent deadly Osprey crash, adding to the likelihood that the aircraft could be back in the air within weeks. But Wayland and Michelle Strickland, the parents of Lance Corporal Evan Strickland, worry this is too soon. He was just 13 years old when he saw his first Osprey. He was hooked.
It was his first time ever seeing like an Osprey up close.
He was fascinated by it.
He was just over the moon about him.
Almost like a transformer, the Osprey can take off as a helicopter but then turn into an airplane, getting troops to the battlefield quickly.
I got a picture of him where he's sitting in the cockpit. That was actually just in front of the position where he was when he passed.
Evan joined the military working on Osprey crews. In June 2022, he was on an Osprey over California when investigators say it experienced what's called a hard clutch engagement, when the clutch releases and suddenly re-engages.
So at that point, they lost controlled flight.
And the aircraft fell.
Just like a rock.
I was going to say just a rock.
No one survived the crash. It was Evan's first Osprey flight as a crew chief. He was 19 years old. After the crash, the military said they were 99% sure they had fixed the problem. There have been no clutch failures since January 2023, but they still can't say for sure why it happened in the first place.
You can't fix something if you don't know truly what's causing it. And so that's the worry and the concern. We just want it fixed.
Evan's casket was escorted by a Marine honor guard that included one of his best friends, Corporal Spencer Collard.
I had received a text saying there had been a mishap in Australia.
Just 14 months after he was there at Evan's funeral, Collard was killed when the Osprey he was in also crashed in Australia.
I'm like, no. You know, your heart just sinks. And I remember shaking, kind of showing you the phone like, no, this can't be.
And it happened again in November in Japan. 8 more American service members killed in another Osprey crash. The investigation in that crash focusing on an added concern, the prop rotor gearbox that connects the engines to the rotors. In the last 2 years, 4 crashes have taken the lives of 20 service members, and military data shows the number of serious aviation incidents known as Class A mishaps are on the rise for the Osprey. In the last 2 years, there were 11 incidents compared to just 2 in the previous 2 years.
I don't know anyone that doesn't know somebody that's passed away in an Osprey crash.
This former military aviation mechanic worked on the Osprey for decades. He fears repercussions for speaking out. We protected his identity, including using another voice in place of his.
They need to be doing more to prevent this stuff and to be more transparent.
Would you go up in an Osprey today?
No.
He says they also felt pressure to get the aircraft back in the air quickly.
You're trying to reach these benchmarks that are really hard to get to. So there's a lot of perceived pressure that ends up turning this into actual pressure.
In December, the Pentagon took the rare step of grounding its entire fleet of Ospreys. But NBC News has learned there are still Ospreys flying in Djibouti and Okinawa for operational necessity.
Does the Pentagon think it's safe to put Ospreys back up in the air before you determine what caused the crash?
I think we'll leave it to the services to determine when it's best for those Ospreys to be relieved of that stand-down order, but right now they're still not flying at this time.
The Pentagon sent us a statement saying, in part, the safety of our air crews is of utmost importance, and we recognize the critical role the V-22 plays in our nation's defense and are dedicated to safeguarding the well-being of our personnel. Meanwhile, Wayland and Michelle Strickland say they'll keep demanding answers because that's what Evan would have wanted.
Our son, if he knew this was going to happen and that it would lead to some kind of change to protect his brothers and keep them safe, he'd do it again.
We reached out to the Osprey manufacturer, Bell Textron, and they gave us this statement, quote, "Our thoughts are with those who were lost in these incidents, along with their families, friends, and loved ones. We are steadfast in our commitment to safety and are fully supporting the investigation." Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.